Good evening and welcome to Lancaster Catholic's Back to School Night, our virtual edition. My name is Mrs. Mason and I am your child's AP Biology teacher. So I wanted to just introduce myself and give you guys a few fun facts about me and also just some information about the class this year. So I have the virtual locker in the background. I made a little virtual locker as I kind of get to know me background. I also had the kids do this on their first day back to school, so I could kind of get to know some fun things about them too. So I enjoyed looking through your students' virtual lockers too. You can see that I like bacon, I like narwhals, I like coffee. I have the 3 classes that I'm teaching this year, so I have several sections of AP Bio, some sections of anatomy, and then one section of, it's called Project Lead the Way. It's our honors bio program this year. So in the picture section, I have my favorite dog, and I have some of the activities I like to do. I like to kayak and go biking. I like the beach, and I like to go hiking with my family. So I have some fun pictures back there just to kind of let the kids know some of my hobbies. I also have a husband and 2 kids. My kids are a little older now. I've got a junior at University of Pittsburgh, and then I have a senior in high school. So that's my family. Let me take you through a few things just to let you know what you can expect. In my AP Biology class, I just wanted to show you what Google Classroom looks like. So the students have access to Google Classroom, and they basically can get to a stream that has all the classwork available to them. So they have all of the coursework that I have it divided by unit. So we started out with Unit 1, that was their summer assignment. The percentage I have listed here is the percentage that the College Board is requiring for them to know. That's the percent of the AP test at the end of the year in May. That's the percent that the test will include of this unit. So between 8 and 11% of the end of the course test will be on chemistry of life. And then we have just moved on to Unit 2, which is cell structure and function. And you can see there's a little bit more percentage, 11 to 13% of the College Board test will cover that. So, but you can see how all the students can see all of their assignments that are listed through there. Then I have a section of class recordings. So students are able to go back and see old classes that either they missed something or if a student is absent, that's a really useful resource. The class recordings list has been something that we've added this year because of our virtual learning students. And then finally, I have some other resources I just have under the Learning Resources tab. So I have their syllabus, I have the AP Classroom link, that is one of the College Board sites that they provide as a learning resource for the students. And then I have some instructions for the online textbook. We are still working on that. That is not working great right now for us. So that is kind of to be determined. But the rest of it is very accessible and very good for the kids to be able to access. So if a student is virtual, we have had a couple of cases where a student needed to be virtual for a short time, or maybe they're being virtual for a quarter. If they go to the main classroom page in Google, there's actually a link right in the front headline. So basically they just go right to the page that all the students have access to, and they click on that link. And each day in class, I've opened up the link and I'm basically live streaming the class for them. So they want to click probably at class time, and then they'd be able to just join, and I see their face pop up and there they are. They can turn their mic on and they can ask questions. I've had plenty of students that just raise their hand on the mic and they ask their question. I've had group work where I just put them with the camera next to, another student in class, and they're basically partners. So one in person and one virtual partner. It's been working out too. I think that the virtual learning has been working great as far as I communicate with them about the audio, the video, and I think that just between their feedback and what I fix here, I think it's been going very well for the virtual students. I do have some synchronous learning, and then I have some asynchronous learning as well. So the virtual learning, the guidelines that we've put forth for the virtual learners, they do need to turn their video camera on, and they should be sitting at a desk environment, and they should be wearing casual dress. So just basically proper day clothes they need to be wearing for their class meets. But as far as that goes, I think there's been some flexibility with the virtual learning. I have had some students attend if something comes up. So for instance, I've had some injuries where they had a sports injury and they were able to attend virtually, while they were waiting to go to the doctor or while they were waiting for some other result to come back. So basically it just allowed them to not miss class during some special circumstance. So I would say communicate with me, communicate with the attendance office, and we can probably make the virtual learning happen for your students. As far as availability goes, I do have a couple planning periods. I've got a planning period on B days during fourth period, and then on A days, I have a study hall third period, which they can come and talk to me during study hall. And they have, this is posted in my classroom, but just in case, just so you're aware of my availability. I also have a Crusader period every day during second Crusader. So it's basically during the second lunch. I do come to my room with my homeroom and they can come talk to me then. And also just communicate. So if the student needs to meet with some other time besides those times, I'm happy to work with them and find some time that meets our schedule together. So as far as communication with me, my email address is just tmason@lchsyes.org, and that is the best way to reach me. I am available. I do check my email all the time, so I will work on, just one business day turnaround as far as replying to you. So I will get back to you if you have any questions. If you call the main office, it usually they take a message and it takes a little bit longer to reach each other on that. So if you would like for me to give you a call, if you actually email me your phone number and then the best time, the best time range to reach you, that is probably the best way for us to actually talk on the phone. So that's the way to communicate with me. The other thing to let you guys know about just late work or makeup work for your child, if they are absent, I basically have the policy that they have as many days that they were out to make up the work. So if they're out one day, they have 1 day to make up the work. If they're out 2 days, 2 days to make up the work. The key to that, again, is communication, because if they missed a test one day, sometimes it works that they miss like more than one test, and then it's really tricky to find a time to make up 2 tests. So I do understand that I might not be the test they can make up that day, but I do ask that they communicate with me on the day they come back. So at least they've communicated and we can schedule, a makeup time for that. So that's basically the makeup policy. I think I have posted also in my syllabus that if they don't turn in work on time, the AP students, there is no late work for AP students. So basically, work needs to be on time. I'm sure that there's things we can communicate about if it's some like major assessment or something like that. But homework and just kind of everyday work like that, there is no late turn-ins for that. Hopefully that gave you a little overview of the class and just a little introduction, so you have gotten to meet me a little bit, and I hope that we have a great year. Your child will probably be taking the AP exam in May. As far as the actual College Board exam, I know that during last year's AP exam, the students took that virtually. So I wouldn't be surprised if they were scheduled or planning to take another online version of the AP College Board exam also. I know they had to make a lot of modifications for COVID, and so I wouldn't be surprised if they would be taking another online exam for the College Board test. We are modeling that all year, so we found that online testing seems to be most friendly for our asynchronous and synchronous virtual students and the in-class students. So they will have been practicing taking online exams. The other thing that the College Board allowed them to do was to use a certain number of notes that they were providing, just, student generated notes. And I have also been allowing students to use, notes that they have generated on their own. So in other words, handwritten, they have designed them themselves, some study notes for themselves. And I am allowing them to use those during exams as well. So they may not use any electronic devices, but they may use some handwritten notes that they have prepared about the material whenever they take their exam. So that seems to be modeling also what the College Board is allowing for their test at the end of the year too. So I welcome any communication you have for me, and I'm planning on having a great year.